Speaking of baseball, though, Brett, hopping into the MLB, we are down to the final 2 weeks of baseball before we head into the postseason. These teams, they have maybe 13 less games, something like that. I'm looking at on Thursday the Blue Jays versus the Twins, and we're talking about a team that's still playing for something against a team that's playing for nothing. And these teams just played against each other recently. And in that recent series in Toronto, the Blue Jays took it 2-1, and both of their wins would have covered a run line. That's why you'll find me on the Blue Jays run line -1.5 at +100. Not to mention Steven Matz. He was one of those pitchers a few days ago that got that win against the Minnesota Twins. The Twins, they're going to have Pineda on the mound. That is going to be a rough outing. He is 7-8 on the season. Matz has a winning record as well. So I like the value at -1.5 at +100. If it fell into the -105 range, though, at -110, I'm really not a fan of taking these run lines at -1.5 and not getting positive value. So I only recommend it if you're getting +100 or better odds, really.
All right. I agree. The Blue Jays playing for a lot, Twins not so much. So what you're saying makes sense, Higgins. I don't know if I'd be betting but run lines with 13 games less or left or less for some of these teams, but the lines are made for people to be on both sides, and you found something you liked, and honestly, it's the side I'd rather be on if I was on this game, right? You want to be on the team fighting in the wild card race. They're kind of dead out of the AL East, although the Rays haven't technically clinched. So they're still alive in that race, Higgins, but I don't know. 7.5 games seems like quite a steep hill at this point.
I mean, the Rays, they have a 6.5 game lead in the AL East. The Red Sox, they seem to have that first wild card position potentially locked up. And then it's the other two AL East teams of the Yankees and the Blue Jays tied for that second wild card slot right now, playing for a lot. Not to mention, some Blue Jays players are playing for a lot, Brett. At least that's what a lot of sports media is talking about right now. The race for the AL MVP. Is it very interesting? I mean, Shohei Ohtani, such a hot start, such an amazing start that really just took and blew everyone away. He has managed to stay healthy. But Vladimir Guerrero, there's been some whispers, there's been some talk going on. Can he surprise everyone and win this AL MVP? Because currently he has the best batting average in the AL. He also has the most RBIs. He's also tied for first with the most home runs with Salvador Perez with 46. Shohei Ohtani right behind them at 45. If Vladimir Guerrero, let's say, gets to 50 home runs and leads in all three categories, wins the Triple Crown, is that enough to overtake Ohtani? It is a very tough question to ask, Brett.
Um, I mean, I don't think it's a tough question to ask. I get it. Triple Crown is a great feat, Higgins. But you and I at 30 years old, 28 years old, Higgins. You and I have seen the. I'm only 29. I aged myself a little bit, but you and I have seen a triple crown, Higgins.
That is true.
You and
Yes,
I
we have.
have not seen a guy throw 120 innings with a 3.2 ERA with 146 strikeouts, start the All Star game as a pitcher, also bat, also hit in the home run derby. I had his pitching stats up, but now to his batting stats: batting 257, 95 RBIs, 45 home runs. Higgins, the guy's stolen 23 bases is like a fucking cherry on top. I don't know what more you people want to uh, name a guy MVP here. Vlad's a great story, but this guy had the season of the last 100 years.
He is having an amazing season. There's no discrediting discrediting that, but let's remember MVP, most valuable player. And is it a more impactful season to be the most valuable player like Vlad Guerrero is on that Toronto Blue Jays team that's making a playoff push compared to the most valuable player on a bad Angels team? I mean, we have seen Mike Trout win a MVP in a very similar scenario on a bad Angels team. I love everything Shohei has done. And let's remember, I've mentioned this a few times. Back on May 2nd, I did place a $20 bet on Shohei to win the MVP at plus 900 odds. I am looking at the odds in Oregon right now. Shohei's at minus 2,500. The book seems to agree with you, Brett, that Shohei is the winner. My cash out option agrees with you that Shohei is the winner, and I could take it out right now. I am looking at basically the only other hedge option of a possibility at the AL MVP, and Vlad's at plus 750. If this is a two-man race, hypothetically, then that's some fantastic value that I can hedge out potentially. So I am going to place something there, but I am going to put that as my podcast warning that I am only doing it because I already have a bet on Shohei, and I think Vlad's the only other player that can potentially take that from him. So I think it's a tough question to ask because I may be a little biased with that Shohei bet already, and I'm protecting myself. But Brett, this is such an exciting conversation, and with these two men being so young, I am ecstatic with where the MLB is really.
I think you're gonna be kicking yourself at the end of the season, but yeah, if that's how you want to play it, Higgins, more power to you. And it's never the worst idea to hedge. Anything can happen. Nothing's a guarantee in life, and that is for sure.